city centre. We're on a tour of the city centre with the Taxi Alliance tonight, and we're looking at some of the issues that black cabs, hackney cabs have in the city centre. One of the main issues that Jimmy Bradley from the Taxi Alliance has told me is about the issue of taxi ranks. So I didn't know this, but this section of road here, all down Seal Street, is actually a taxi rank after 10 o'clock. And that means that it's only hackney carriages should be able to park here. But as you can see here, it's all non-black cabs. It's private cars, private hire cars, and there is a sign there, you can see there, which says that. But I think there is probably more that people would think the council could maybe do to make it clear that places like this should only be reserved for black cabs. So we've just driven down here, and if Jimmy had wanted to stop in his black cab, there would be nowhere for him to stop, and that is obviously a problem for hackney cabs. Just to show you, this is Jimmy actually telling this guy here that he's not allowed to stay on the taxi rank. So Jimmy's gone out, he's had a word, and basically he's gone. So there you go. But obviously Jimmy would say this is not something that he feels he has to do or should have to do. It should be the job of enforcement officers. Okay, so here we are on Bold Street, and just as an example of what is going on here in the city centre, Jimmy just pointed out to me a private hire car just sat on the corner of the road there on a yellow line, and I thought I'd go and test to see if it was plying for trade, which of course is illegal for private hire cars. Went over, asked how much to go back to Egbeth, and they said no problem, tenner, hop in. Obviously I didn't, but that's an offence, so Councillor Kemp, who's with me, has taken the number of the car and he's going to report it. That's just an example, and the guys here say that this is what's happening all the time, all night, every night on the weekend. Okay, Jimmy, so you've taken us out tonight. Could you just sort of sum up what you think we've seen and how that highlights the problems that black cabs are facing?
I think you've seen countless ply for hire offences by private hire vehicles in the city. I think you've also seen some of the cross-border issues that are rearing the head within the city, with out-of-town private hire coming into the city and touting for work. You've seen private hire sitting on taxi stands, which is criminal offences. What you haven't seen tonight, Liam, is any licence and enforcement team. This is a Saturday night, one of the busiest nights of the month, and the black cab trade of this city deserves to have the law applied properly in relation to taxi matters, and quite clearly that's not happening.
I think you made it quite clear to us that your main priority is the safety of the people of Liverpool, isn't it?
The people of Liverpool, in my opinion, are not being afforded the duty of care that Liverpool City Council has a lawful right to offer them, in that some of the vehicles that people are being picked up in, unbooked private hire vehicles off taxi stands in the Liverpool city centre area, are deemed uninsured by the very nature that they're not pre-booked by phone. And once they're uninsured, there's a whole host of offences being committed by those drivers where the protection of the public doesn't appear to be paramount.
And Councillor Kemp, leader of the Liberal Democrats in Liverpool, you've joined us tonight. Have you been just quite shocked by what you've seen? I think you said you were surprised at how many of these incidents we saw in such a short space of time.
Absolutely. Like most councillors, I don't tend to be in the centre of Liverpool at this sort of time, or even on Lark Lane, which is quiet behind us now, is incredibly busy at about 11:30. I've seen literally hundreds of offences, some of them the type of plying for hire, which they shouldn't do, people parking on disabled access, people blocking roads. We saw no police enforcement at all. We saw no taxi enforcement. We saw no parking enforcement. So my first concern is that the council and the police together must take action. But I think we need to have a major public information exercise here. I've seen people getting into cars which were clearly they were not licensed to take, and therefore they were uninsured. We've got to make people aware of the risk if they don't get a proper Liverpool taxi.